On this week's edition of The Overtime, NAU women's basketball defeated the University of Arizona twice in a single season. Then, flag softball is adjusting to a new coach. Finally, March Madness is underway and we have all the updates. All that and more on this edition of The Overtime. Hello and welcome to The Overtime, Northern Arizona's only sports show. I'm your host, Reese Clark, and today I'm joined by sports reporter Lydia Schwieters.
Thank you so much, Reese. I'm so excited to join you today.
As you know, we are nearing the end of March, so basketball season has taken over.
The NAU women's basketball team traveled to Tucson to face the University of Arizona in the first round of the Women's Basketball Invitational Tournament. NAU took down Arizona for the second time this season in the first round of the Women's Basketball Invitational Tournament, defeating their southern rivals 71-69 in a last-second nail-biter, which also marked the program's first win in a postseason tournament.
Incredibly proud of this team and the accomplishment of winning the first postseason game in school history. Couldn't be more proud of this team and where we are as a program.
The game was tied at 69 when Nia Moran made a layup to raise the score to 71-69. Arizona had possession in the final few seconds, but didn't make a game-winning shot. The game started with Arizona taking an early lead, and the Lumberjacks trailed 36-31 at halftime. But NAU fought back with a strong performance in the second half.
We've been working and fine-tuning it for the entire season, and we went out and executed what we've worked on, and obviously having a great point guard that can get open and handle the press and just have a lot of composure and poise against it. I thought that it didn't let them get the momentum that they usually probably get from their full court press.
Junior forward Sophie Glancy scored 23 points and recorded 14 rebounds, earning her 19th double-double of the season. Also a huge threat for NAU was junior guard Taylor Feldman, who finished the night with 22 points and 5 rebounds.
Coming together, one thing we knew that we for sure can control is our effort. We can't exactly control how many shots we make and assists, turnovers like that. So we knew our effort, and we knew diving on the floor with this is a loose ball. If it's a 50-50 ball, it needs to be ours. Going up for rebounds, getting offensive rebounds, which is a big focus. And I mean, we had a lot of offensive rebounds, which is crashing the glass, like when we weren't making shots, and just coming together as a team.
They went on to face off against Belmont in Nashville and ended up sadly losing by 1 point.
This not only wrapped up NAU's season, but also marked an end for head coach Lori Payne. Payne announced yesterday that she is stepping down from NAU and taking over as head coach at Santa Clara University. Payne led the Lumberjacks for the last 8 seasons. She is leaving as NAU's all-time winningest head coach with an overall record of 136-116, including a Big Sky record of 88-62. She led the Lumberjacks to 4 straight Big Sky semifinals and 3 straight conference championship games. Her success has been recognized at NAU, and the search for a new head coach has begun.
NAU men's basketball also recently ended their season. They were invited to the CBI tournament. This was their first postseason tournament appearance since 2015. Their first matchup, they faced off against Queens NC. The men's lost 78-85, also ending their season. They wrapped up the season with an 18-16 overall record and an 8-10 conference record.
The town's biggest rivalry flared up again as Flagstaff and Coconino faced off in the sand. Sports reporter Jacob Orduño has the story.
Flagstaff marked its 4th straight win in the sand over crosstown rival Coconino on Wednesday. Flagstaff head coach Beth Hagelin says the rivalry game demands more than just on-court point scoring.
It's an emotional game to begin with because it's our first home match, and then to have your first home match be against Coconino just adds to it. So you could tell by the start of a lot of the matches that it was a little rough in the first, say, 8 to 10 points, and then the girls started putting our practices into play and the things that we've been working on, so I felt like they calmed down and then we played better.
Flagstaff swept all 5 matches to defeat Coconino 5-0. Flagstaff senior Ava Collins and junior Peyton Colleen were down early, with their opponents having several set points in a row. However, they were able to mount a comeback, eventually winning both the set and the match. Collins says that once they gained confidence, there was no stopping them.
We started off obviously a little slow, and then once we got our confidence, we knew we could win, and we knew we could come back. Like, there was no question about it.
Flagstaff improved to a 4-0 overall record and 1-0 in region play. Colleen is confident her team can keep this momentum going into the rest of the season.
Yeah, and just keep pushing, not letting off the gas pedal, and just proving to people that we can do it and just keep winning.
Jacob Orduño, NAZ Sports.
Flag High will play their next game tomorrow at Dysart High School at 4 p.m., while Coconino will host the Northwestern Christian Crusaders at 3.
Softball season has kicked off, and Flag High recently hired a new coach midseason. Tommy Hernandez was NAU club softball team's head coach and now has taken the position at the high school level. Coach Hernandez and the Eagles hosted the Mojave Accelerated Patriots for their last game before region play begins this Saturday. Coach Hernandez has been the head coach for just a week after leaving the NAU club softball team.
There's a lot of talent on the team, so the transition has been fairly easy. I just take everything I was doing there and bring it here, and these girls have picked it up quickly.
The Patriots, however, were overall better prepared for the game and overcame the Eagles 10-6.
I think me coming in late as a coach, this team had already played their first game when I came in. I came in during spring break, so it was kind of a weird time. So I think them getting a lot of time in, on the field with their coach, it's absolutely an advantage.
After trailing the Patriots 6-0 in the third, Flagstaff went on to complete a 5-run tier in the fifth inning, tightening the score to 10-6.
We have to stay composed. Just don't let any of that distract our game, and just continue playing hard. There's things that we can't control, so we just focus on the things we can.
Hernandez says the Eagles are using early season games to adjust to his coaching style and positive mindset.
We kept a positive attitude throughout the game. The girls were loud and encouraged. They never gave up. They showed a lot of heart, a lot of fight. Kaylee Colwell on the mound, she battled through the whole game. We had a rough start, and I'm super proud of the girls, and they just never gave up, didn't show any quits.
Region play begins for the Eagles on Saturday, March 29th versus Mojave High School at 11 a.m. Hernandez is looking to improve from their 8-4 region record last season. I remember back when I played club soccer, we had a season with a last-minute coaching change, and it definitely took some adjusting to. I'm excited to keep up with flag softball and see how they adjust to Hernandez.
It's always a different experience having to adjust to a new coach, so good luck to those girls. We're going to take a short break, but once we come back, it's March Madness.
If you're buzzed and doing this, to make yourself feel okay to drive,
ZWX.
You're not okay to drive.
YGKLVW. Regular you.
Well, Thomas, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Welcome back. One of the biggest times in college sports is happening right now, and that is March Madness. I don't know about you, Reese, but my bracket is cooked.
Mine is too, but I do still have Duke winning, so I still have a chance for that. My living room TV has been on a constant stream of basketball, so I've been keeping up. But in case you haven't, we have sports reporters Connor Emery and Austin Williams in the studio with all the March Madness updates.
Thanks, Reese and Lydia. We started out with 68 teams last week. Now we are down to 16 as it is a competitive race to San Antonio. Austin, what have been some of your thoughts from the first two rounds of this tournament?
Well, the first two rounds, not much action happened. There were really only two big upsets, and that was McNeese over Clemson and Colorado State over Memphis, which was a 12-5 in both of them, I'm pretty sure.
It was, and so this is the first time since 2007 no seed 11 or lower have been to the Sweet 16. And speaking of Sweet 16, let's take a look here at the West region, starting off with Florida and Maryland and Texas Tech and Arkansas. What are some of the surprises? I mean, Arkansas has made an incredible run, Austin.
Yeah, can't count Coach Cal out. I mean, Arkansas was one of those teams that was on the bubble, really looking like they weren't going to make it in. I'm pretty sure they were one of the last teams in. And Coach Cal certainly is putting on a show, taking out two great coaches in Rick Pitino and Bill Self. And those teams are Kansas and St. John's, the 7 and 2 seed. So got to count Arkansas in. Maybe they could go on a run here, but Texas Tech is a tough team.
Absolutely. And then Florida and Maryland, they both had tough matchups in the second round against UConn and Colorado State, respectively. It came down to the wire in the last minute. And then in the South region, you got Auburn and Michigan, Ole Miss and Mississippi State. Kind of some surprises. Michigan, especially going on a hot run, is coming from the Big Ten tournament.
Yeah, Michigan is on a hot run. Looked like they weren't going to look like one of the worst top 25 schools in the nation before that Big Ten tournament, but they turned it on since then. Dusty May is a really good coach, knows what it takes to get to the Sweet 16, knows what it takes to get to the Final Four, as he did it with FAU and Vlad Golden, currently one of the best centers in college basketball, as he scored 23 points against Texas A&M in that last matchup.
Yeah, Auburn is the #1 overall seed, but they have been kind of struggling a little bit in the month of March. And then Ole Miss, a lot of people counted them out. They thought they were going to lose in the first round, but Coach Beard has been able to take this team onto the Sweet 16.
Yeah, Coach Beard is a great coach over at Texas, but got fired there for some other reasons other than coaching. But Chris Beard is a great coach, and he's going up against another great coach, and that is Tim Izzo, Mr. March, as some people like to say. Can't count Tom Izzo out. He knows what it takes to get to the Final Four as well, knows what it takes to win a national championship as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And we could have a potential state rivalry between Michigan and Michigan State in the Elite Eight if both teams were to win. And then looking at in the East region between Duke and Arizona, Caleb Love loves to play Duke. They faced earlier in the month of November, but obviously two different teams now.
Yeah, Arizona has some good players over there, and it all starts with Caleb Love. I mean, he knows what it takes to beat a Duke team, and he did it with Coach K ended his career about 3 years ago in 2022. And Duke is also the best team in the tournament, in my opinion. I mean, they got Cooper Flagg, who's a great player. Con Kernupple is a great player over there. But, I mean, it's tough to beat a great Duke team, which is quite well-balanced, that also has what is possibly the #1 pick in the NBA draft in Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, a lot of people thought that he wasn't going to be healthy coming to the NCAA tournament. A lot of concerns, but he looks fully healthy and looking to win that championship for Duke. And the BYU-Bama, that's going to be a fun matchup. I'm looking forward to it. I believe it's going to be whoever gets to 90 points first.
Oh, yeah, two very high-scoring offenses, but I think Bama has the edge in this one. They went to the Final Four last year and is really probably the fastest offense in the NCAA. And they beat Auburn, who's a strong team this year. They're a 1 seed. Plus, also, they're an SEC school, and right now SEC schools are doing really good in the March Madness tournament.
And then looking at the last region in the Midwest, even though Houston has the #1 seed advantage, they have to play in Indianapolis, which against a Purdue school that's only a few miles away from Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah, those Purdue fans will be coming up from West Lafayette to get to Indianapolis. But Houston is a really good defensive team. Kelvin Sampson, he's been to the Final Four before, and he actually went in Indianapolis. Ended up losing to, I'm pretty sure, Baylor in that Final Four. But, I mean, that's one of the best defenses in college basketball, if not the best defense in college basketball right now.
And then you got a three-peat of Kentucky and Tennessee. Kentucky does have that advantage, 2-0, but as the saying goes, it's always hard to beat a team 3 times in a season, Austin.
Yeah, it is hard to beat a team 3 times in a season, and Tennessee is the 2 seed. They took out UCLA, beating them by just about 9 points at Rupp Arena, which is UK's arena. But, I mean, UK, they got a new coach this year, and it's really a great start for this Kentucky program since the Calipari leaving.
Absolutely. Mark Pope has had to rebuild this program. Nobody has stayed from last year's team, and now he's carried them to the Sweet 16. And then Tennessee, it's going to be a great matchup. Ziegler's one of those veteran seniors, and Tennessee has never reached a Final Four. Mm-hmm. Rick Barnes has never done that as well with this program. Should be an exciting weekend as we got the Sweet 16 and Elite 8, but we'll kick it back to Reese and Lydia on desk.
Thanks, Connor and Austin. I'm going to be glued to my TV on Thursday for the Sweet 16.
Oh, me too. I'm looking forward to how the rest of the tournament plays out. Thank you all for joining us for this edition of The Overtime.
I would like to thank our sports reporters Jacob Orduño, Connor Emery, and Austin Williams. And I'd also like to thank my co-host Lydia Schwieters. I'm Reese Clark, and we'll see you next Tuesday for the next edition of The Overtime.